Assalamu alaikum. In today's video, we'll talk about Palestinian dispute. So let's get started. What do you call it when the babies are burnt alive? When the hospitals are converted into the ash and the mothers dig their children out of the rubble with their own bare hands. This is not a war. We call it a genocide. This is not a war. It is the complete erasure of the people from the Palestine. Palestine is bleeding and we are watching. Since October 7th, more than 40,000 people have been killed in Palestine. More than 70% of them were women and children. And they are crushed, they are burned alive, they are turned into the rubble that are unnamed and uncounted. There are the families that are completely wiped off in a second. And there are the people that we know of. There are many people that are present in that place that are out of reach of the humans. Palestinian women are not just losing their homes, their children, their husbands, but they are facing such humiliation and dehumanizing assaults. The report from Gaza described that the women are beaten and tied by the Israeli forces, and Israeli forces also accused of subjecting the women into humiliation and also the psychological torment. But in spite of all these difficulties, they hold on. They cover their heads. They take their children near to them and whisper, "Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel." Allah is sufficient for me, and He is the best disposer of all the things. Imagine your child is playing in the dining room, and suddenly the house shakes, the roof collapses, and you are digging out in the blood and bricks. In Gaza, it happens every day. The children have lost their limbs. The children saw their siblings die. The people saw their family wiped out, and they are now sitting in the hospital corridors without saying anything, silent and numb. Their eyes don't blink with the fear. They have seen too much, and it's sufficient for them. And it's just it's not called the self-defense. It's called a murder. It's called ethnic cleansing. Israel has the right to defend itself. Against who? Babies, journalists, and the civilians? They bomb ambulances, they bomb air trucks, they shoot the people carrying white flags. They use white phosphorus that is banned in international law on neighborhood civilians. No one speaks around it because they are the narrative, and the world is too afraid to speak about it. The bomb that level Gaza is made in USA. USA gives Israel $4 billion every year in aid. That's not humanitarian, that's not diplomacy. There is clearly a military funding, and you are paying the tax for the missile that killed the mother of 3. And when the world called for the ceasefire, America vetoes it. Why? Because they don't care about the dead Palestinians. They care for the oil, control, and alliances. CNN, BBC, Fox News, they all say the same line, that Hamas started it, but no one tells you that Israel has occupied Palestine for over 76 years. It was not started in 2023, it was not started in 2021, it was started in 1946. This genocide is not a response, it's a plan, a well-funded, well-executed, and well-paid response of extermination. As bombs dropped over Gaza, and all the Israeli citizens watched from the rooftop and cheers. They grabbed their popcorns and just eat it, and saw the blood of the Palestinian children, and they mocked the dead on the social media and laughed at the Palestinian children. That's not called a defense. The state that is built on such a hatred cannot be called as a democracy. The UN useless. The Arab leaders silent. The influencers fear of losing the brand deals. That silence is not called as neutrality. That's a free face of betrayal. Do you think that boycotting doesn't have any advantage? Every time you use Coca-Cola, L'Oreal, Airbnb, KFC, McDonald's, Lay's, Netflix, you are funding the oppressor. Your money becomes the fuel in a tank, the trigger of a rifle. You are supporting the oppressor. Boycotting is not just a trend, it's a resistance. Even if your drop is small, together we are an ocean. Despite everything, the Palestinians rise for the Fajr prayer in the rubble. They also share the last piece of the bread they've eaten, and they are not afraid of anything else. They carry their wounded and bury their dead with the dignity. And when they are asked that, "Are you afraid of dying?" they answer that we are not afraid of dying. We are afraid that the world will forget us. Let this never happen. Wake up, community. It's about politics. It's not about politics. It's not about religion. It's not about taking the sides. It's about right and wrong. It's about life and death. It's about the choosing humanity over the horror. You don't need to carry a gun. You don't need to march in the street. The things that you have to do is to stop supporting the genocide, to stop watching this all matter silently, and to stop feeding the evil with your own wallets. You have a voice, use it. You have a phone, speak. You have a conscience, act.